Nolan King for MMA Junkie here. I'm being joined by Chris Gutierrez, who is hanging out with his puppy during the quarantine here. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just here in a room.
Just like everyone else, the rest of the world. I feel like I ask every fighter this question, and it's getting old, but at the same time, it needs to be asked. How are you hanging in there during this whole thing, and how has it changed, your life in terms of being a fighter? What adjustments have you had to make?
Life definitely took a pause. Um, the training's got to be in the house. Of course, the training's not going to be the same because you don't have your coaches, you don't have that structure, you don't have that team environment. But you do with, you make do with what you got, and that's basically what we have all had to do. And focus on yourself. Everyone, is so fast forward, moving forward all the time that I think, especially as an athlete, you really don't focus on yourself, just what's that task, and to be able to sit back a little bit and just focus on yourself, and whether it's healing, studying, doing some, different things to kind of, get ahead in life in general.
And I know you're somebody. This is your first delve into the UFC. You've had a few fights now, but you're not somebody that's necessarily been in the promotion for years or so. So I guess when you see the UFC events come to a halt and there's no fights coming in the future, I guess how tough is that on you? How much does that wear on you mentally to not know what the next step is?
I mean, it takes a big toll on you, honestly. You know, I've only been with the promotion about, I think, a year and a half, and it's just, like I said, we depend on it. Whether it's financially, whether it's to keep moving up the rankings, and to get that ring time. Honestly, the cage time.
And I know you're somebody too that this kind of happened at a tough time because you were coming off an injury in your last fight. So can you just talk me through what happened there? Pretty bad knee injury, right?
Yeah, completely tore my ACL, and it was in the fight. It was in the last round. I felt it kind of give, and during the fight you don't really feel it because your adrenaline's going, but afterwards it just the pain. But I just thought maybe I tweaked that. I didn't really think nothing bad of it. And a couple of days later, I was just, man, this is not good. Waited a little bit longer, and then decided to go get it checked out, and then the worst news ever. Especially as an athlete, to hear you tore your ACL or anything, but especially your legs, you're on them every day, and that's what you use to work to get around. And one of them's gone. It's like, man, your life kind of takes a pause there as well.
And that was back in August. So before these cancellations came, were you where were you in the process of your recovery? Were you ready to take a fight? Were you approaching that point? Like, I guess, where are you now?
Yeah, I mean, I got cleared in February, and was going to take a fight in June. That's when my my comeback was. Supposed to be in June. So hopefully it's still. Hopefully people can get on board with finding a cure for this damn Corona thing, and so life can just resume back to normal, man. Because this, I don't like this. No,
Yeah,
you
no,
really.
I don't think anybody does, man. And I had heard through the grapevine that you kind of have a name in mind of who you would like to fight next. So can you tell me who that is and why you would like to fight that certain opponent?
Yeah, I mean, Andre Ewell, yeah, Andre Ewell. No disrespect to him. It's not like any bad blood. I don't know. I heard some people saying that they think we must dislike each other. No, it's actually complete opposite. Yeah, he fought one of my teammates, and I truly feel that Jonathan Martinez beat him, and it is what it is. But I want him because stylistically, it's a great fight. The fans get a good show. I mean, we get to go out there and perform. But most importantly, man, I respect him as an individual. We're kind of going through the same thing as fathers. He's kept away from his son, and I'm kept away from my son. So, I have nothing but respect for him. He goes out there and he puts on a show, and I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, and talk about that stylistic matchup a little bit. I know, obviously, if you have some tricks in your mind, you don't want to reveal all your secrets here. But what do you like about that matchup? You just said that you think it will be a good one for the fans, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think like stylistically, he likes to throw, and so do I. So gonna be two guys meet in the middle. but I can't really say exactly what I'm gonna do. But got some nice things up there.
Hell yeah, man. And you're talking about, your teammate at Factory X. Have you stayed in contact with a lot of your teammates through this whole thing? Coach Mark Montoya, what kind of, what's the team morale like in a time where you guys can't really work together?
Oh yeah, we have a phone conference call. We just had one last week, and we all stay in touch. Coach is very adamant about making sure everybody's okay, and he asked to see what we're all doing. If we're running, if we're getting our road work in, if we're lifting weights with little stuff that we have here with shadow boxing. We he tries to keep a close eye on us to make sure we're not getting too fat. Just doing dumb things.
Yeah, and how tough has that been? The nutrition side of things. Everybody talks about you guys haven't been able to necessarily get the proper training in, but I think the nutrition side of it too is tough for a lot of people. Have you had any issues with that during this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I like to eat in general. I'm Hispanic, so that's no problem with me. But of course, man, you're not able to get the training that you normally would. So, you you put a lot of food in, and you're eating as if you were training 2 or 3 times a day. Where in reality, you're just working out in the morning a little bit with weights, and then going on a run later at night. Later in the day. That's not really you know, I guess for like a normal person who really doesn't do any not a professional athlete, somebody who just goes to the gym and just works out and does a little light jog. To them, that might be a really good, a really good day or a really good workout. But for as an athlete, that's not going to cut it.
Right.
And yeah, so the nutrition side and the workout side is just they're not really hand in hand. So you got to cut back on what you're eating, watch what you're eating, and stuff like that.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, hopefully we don't have to worry about this much longer. Hopefully everything resumes back to normal soon. But I appreciate the time today, Chris, and whatever's next for you, best of luck, man.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. I mean, thank you, and thank you for getting me on your show.